Welcome and good evening. I hope you all had a good time.
Having.
As a father of the bride, I have the privilege of giving the first speech and the first toast this evening. We had a beautiful ceremony earlier. The dinner was really good tonight. And now, stay tuned because there's a whole lot more to come. This party's just getting cranked up. I hope you're all able to stay with us for the rest of the evening.
Not at our house.
Okay, I'd like to start off by saying on behalf of my wife Debbie, myself, Justin's parents, Mike and Dana, we'd like to extend a warm Texas welcome to all of our friends, family, and relatives that are here to take part in the biggest day in Katie and Justin's lives. We're very happy you're here to celebrate this with us. We've had people that have come from quite a long distance and some from close. And we're really glad that you're able to take part in this special day. We've actually had people come from as far as New England and some as close as the Austin area. I hope that you all enjoy the rest of your stay here. Now, I'd like to take a minute to thank some very special people for the hard work that they put in for all the activities leading up to and including this evening. Mike and Dana, thanks so much for hosting the rehearsal party last evening. I think everybody had a really good time. I know I had a ball. Justin's groomsmen, thanks so much for taking Justin on a bachelor party last weekend. Even though they did a party at Texas A&M, it was a football weekend, I think they all had a really good time, even though the Aggies got their butts kicked. A very special thank you to Katie's bridesmaids. They've worked hard for the last 6 months planning and holding bridal showers for Katie. They also held a bachelorette party for Katie at the Hyatt Resort in San Antonio several weeks ago. I think everybody had a really good time there from what I heard. And I thank you for all that you've done for both Katie and Justin. Okay, lastly, but certainly not least, I'd like to thank my wife Debbie, sitting right over here. Debbie has worked very hard for the last year and a half, planning all the activities, both large and small, to make this day perfect. As a matter of fact, I would actually say that Debbie was probably considered the pre-wedding day wedding coordinator. I know you made my life very easy, and for that, I thank you and I love you. Now, I normally read one book a year, and I don't know why that is, it just kind of happens that way. The book that I read this year was given to me by Katie. The name of the book is The Idiot's Guide to Being the Father of the Bride. So, I will tell you there's a lot of good, useful information in this book, but I can summarize the book in 3 bullets. Shut up, pay up, and make sure everybody's having a good time and well cared for at the reception. I think in the shut up department I did pretty well, but ultimately Debbie's the judge of that. So you have to check with her. The pay up part, I think I did real well. As far as taking care of everybody tonight and making sure everybody has a good time, well, that's my job, and I'll do everything I can to make sure I do that. You can let me know at the end of the night how well I do. Now, a little bit about Katie and Justin, since this is the reason why we're all here tonight. Katie and Justin have had a really busy 18 months. They first got engaged, then they graduated from Texas A&M together. Then they both got jobs at Dell. Sorry about that, Justin. Then they built a house together, and finally, they got married here today. Wow, that's a lot of stress for anybody to be under. You guys did extremely well handling all the stress. Matter of fact, I actually think you guys ought to write a book called How to Handle Stress with a Smile. Now, Katie and Justin have been going together for 4 years. And I gotta say, the first 2 years, I knew Justin only as Justin. And when somebody would ask me what Justin's last name was, I either said I didn't know or I couldn't remember. Well, in the 3rd year, I actually learned Justin's last name, but it really wasn't until 2 weeks ago that I learned how to spell it. I think I'm doing good now. Okay, so today, I gotta say, I think I'm the happiest dad in the world. Even though Debbie accompanied Katie to all of her bridal fittings and told me how really great she looked, it really wasn't until just before we walked down the aisle today that I realized how beautiful she really was. And I don't mean it just about how pretty she looked in her dress. Her whole persona was radiant. So I think that Katie was probably the happiest I've ever seen her in her life today. And I think she might have been a little tiny bit nervous, but I think the happiness showed through. Now, about a year and a half ago, I was at College Station before a football game, and Kate and Debbie left Justin and I together. Anyway, Justin turned and looked at me, and he actually asked me for my approval for Katie's hand in marriage. Well, I'll tell you what, I was very surprised, and to tell the truth, I didn't think guys did that anymore. I know I never did it when I was that age. So, I gotta say, that took a lot of guts. And that told me a lot about Justin's character. And for that, I have a whole lot of respect for Justin. So, today has been a day that I've always worried about, the day that Katie would get married. And it was mainly because I was always afraid of losing a daughter. But what's happened here is about a year ago, we both bought houses in the same subdivision about a quarter mile apart, just down the road.
Sorry, Katie.
And the reality is, we see Katie a whole lot more today than we ever did before. So, we really haven't lost a daughter. I still have Katie. We've gained a son. Justin, welcome to the family. Hey, Debbie, we finally got the 2 kids we always wanted. I just never thought it would take this long. So now I have the privilege of giving the first toast this evening. If you would all stand and raise your glasses. Marriage is the meeting of 2 minds, 2 hearts, and 2 souls to become one. And I think Katie and Justin are a perfect example of this. I want you to know that you have our love and our blessing. You have made us such proud and happy parents. God bless you. Ladies and gentlemen, the bride and the groom. Cheers.